Hello there, Maryann here from Revealing Light, Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Hello everybody, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for your likes, thanks for subscribing to the channel. As you can see, it's growing, and that really, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for those that support this channel in any way that you can. I am extremely grateful, and for all the heartfelt comments and caring and loyalty to me. As you know, I do read all our comments, and so I see the support that you're giving me, so thank you again. All right, let's get started today. We're going to be looking at Vladimir Putin, whom some in the Western world support, has come out and said, look, we're prepared to use nuclear weapons on Ukraine. I'm prepared to use the nuclear weapons. So we'll see if it's more saber rattling or whether there's actually a real threat there. The Catholic Pope has come out and asked Ukraine to surrender. I find that very, very, very odd. Because he really should be asking Putin to get out of a sovereign country. But anyway, we'll take a look at Putin and his nuclear threats. And we'll also take a look at the ex-president's Manhattan DA District Attorney trial, which is due to start on March the 25th. From what I can see, he's pulling a number of very, very desperate moves. We'll see how all of that is going to pan out. I have read on that before we knew that his other trials would be delayed in some way. And I've said that would be the first conviction in Manhattan. We'll take a look at that. And I also want to follow up my Princess Catherine royal family readings. Mainly, really, because there's been now a photo come out that's been doctored, and Princess Catherine has taken the blame for that. She's released a statement saying she did the doctoring. I find this all quite odd, bizarre, and as a journalist, I really do not, or a former journalist, I really don't like the lack of transparency. And in this case, dishonesty. I feel it's dishonesty. A number of news agents, reputable news agencies, have said that they will not automatically be publishing any royal family pictures without checking them for being altered. I find that extraordinary. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. I understand the online frenzy over the royals. I certainly do not sanction the vitriol that's directed at them. But I grew up with the monarchy. And so in England, as a Commonwealth, we're part of the Commonwealth in Australia. And so, I don't always believe in a monarchy, but I certainly respected the monarchy under Queen Elizabeth. Okay, so let's go to. First of all, I want to look at the energy that's underlying all of this, because so much of what is occurring now has to do with energy. It has to do with people's emotions. It has to do with people's anger, I guess, and people's need for supremacy over others. I should also say I watched an interview, phone interview with the ex-president on NBC, I think it was. It may not have been NBC. It could have been. I get confused between NBC and CNBC, or whatever it is anyway. And this interviewer, I'm so disappointed in the quality or lack of quality in the journalistic standards of today. Anyway, he asked the former president, the ex-president, we've got this $1 trillion multi-trillion-dollar deficit. How are we going to get it down with social security and that expanding and growing? And of course, the ex-president said he would take a good look at cutting Social Security and Medicaid in the US. At the same time, a report was released that said that some billionaires in America are paying their own CEOs more money in their salary and perks than they are in tax. So the other side of the equation, which the journalist didn't ask the ex-president, is you created tax cuts for the wealthy. This research shows they're not paying their fair share of tax. Will you be doing anything about that? But of course that side of the equation was left out. Okay. Let's go. Underlying energy. Underlying energy. Well, it's perplexion, or being perplexed here, where I am. There's a lot of irony. All right, so let's have a look. What is the underlying energy at this time in the world? Underlying energy at this time in the world. Underlying energy at this time in the world. Underlying energy. It's one of domination, or people wanting to dominate. That's what I saw. Armies on horseback moving forward. And if you equate that with the tarot, it's the Six of Wands, the victory card. Wanting supremacy, wanting domination, wanting to win. So we have here creation, water. Yeah, emotion, which was where I started before I got into this video. It is about, the energy is about emotion. It's about our feelings and how we express them and how we use them. And we have groundedness, gravity. Like, take a reality check, people. Those who are yelling at everybody, those who are gaslighting people, those who are the accusations, whatever the negative energy, take a reality check. Take your shoes off, walk on the earth, look for other ways to express yourself, because that kind of self-expression is just going, the doors of real spiritual connection with this earth and with other living beings will be shut to you, because all you can hear is the loudness of your own anger. Alchemy and magic. There's so much in life to be experienced. So much beyond Big Macs and Coke and ketchup. Magic, alchemy. Understand that you can create your own magic. It's within your hands. And we have atoms, building atoms. Yeah, this goes with the feeling card. It's like a build-up. And I think that's where we are at this time. There's so much feeling, so much anger, so much whatever that we see being expressed. It's like, where does that energy go? It builds up into some kind of crescendo. Base of the pack, inner core, solidarity, and volcanoes, power. So there you go. It's no wonder we're seeing the wars that we're seeing, threats we're seeing, the denigration that we're seeing, the degradation that we're seeing. It has its genesis in the feelings. And, of course, those that have power will take those insecurities, they will seek to push those outward. And that's what we see happening with dictatorships, those that don't allow freedom of expression or rights, liberties. It's about power and emotion. Okay, let's take a look at Putin and the nuclear nuclear weapons. So people often ask, well, what can we do living in this kind of world? Well, you can take responsibility for your own behaviour and be the change that you want to see. And in the meantime, remember the richness that life has to offer. And I rarely forget that. Well, sometimes I do forget and I get a big wake-up call. All right, so remember the magic is within your hands. Okay, Putin and nukes. Let's take a look. He's threatened to use nuclear weapons if there are boots on ground in Ukraine, if Macron, any of the countries, Estonia, whoever, if they send boots in, soldiers in to help Ukraine, who are having a problem with their manpower. And remember, I saw the babies when I read on Ukraine recently, and I said they just don't have enough soldiers. Putin's drawing cannon fodder from all parts of Russia. All right. Will Putin use nuclear weapons on Ukraine? I'm going to be specific. Will Putin use nuclear weapons on Ukraine? Will Putin use nuclear weapons? It would be in violation of all sorts of laws and protocols, and he would expect quick retribution from the world. I actually did hear a no. Okay, so will Putin use nuclear weapons on Ukraine? Ooh. Okay, so we have the Tower card. It's quite serious here. That's the signifier card, and it's crossed by the Chariot. Okay, so there is a plan here to use some kind of tactical weapon. So, yeah, the Chariot is something being out of control. Goodness, okay, quite worrying there. And we get the King of Rods. This is a bold step. This is fire energy. Let's keep going. That's at the foundation of the reading. We'll draw a clarifier on that one. He's currently still contemplating it. It's not set in stone yet. Again, we have the past with Putin. Always comes back to the past. And you've heard my readings on Putin. If you haven't, there's a fairly deep dive that you might want to look at. Ooh. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out. There's a toxicity here, the Devil card, as a potential. It's what's crowning this reading. This is a volatility here that could get out of control. We get the Empress card, which is my card for Mother Russia in the immediate future. We haven't got to the outcome. We have death here at the present time. These cards are more a reflection of what is happening now. The bombing has increased in Ukraine. Russia is now using particular, I don't know if they're different bombs, drones, I guess. And they're actually restarted that bombing schedule. And we get the death card. But we get that also being an ending. And the environment around is moving away from troubled waters. Ukraine's hits to the Navy has really triggered Putin. We get here the Seven of Cups. This is in the hopes and fears. This is someone who is delusional. And we get strength. I'm afraid. And the Hermit, isolation. And then Magician, manifestation. And the Three of Pentacles. So I'm afraid that he actually would, but he's prepared to. Okay, so when he says I would use nuclear weapons if boots on the ground came into Ukraine, absolutely he is prepared to do that. There's no question of it. We get sanctions, we get the Lovers, And then we get Judgment and Inevitability and the Star card. So at this stage, I still feel that there's hope that he won't. And of course, it would have deterred. I mean, Macron said we'll put boots in on the ground. It's a pretty terrible situation there. I did, in my previous readings, see that perhaps there is some sort of deal that Ukraine does. I think Zelensky came out not long after that and said he was prepared. But Putin will expect all those regions of Ukraine that he has captured. Okay, so would he use them if they send boots in on the ground? Yes, he will. He absolutely would. Okay, so we'll, let's see. Terrible situation, isn't it? Will Zelensky do a deal with Russia, which will stop this war? Will Zelensky eventually do this deal with Russia to stop this war? So we get the Nine of Rods. This is the Wounded Warrior, boundaries, guardrails, the Queen of Swords, logic and planning. Seven of Cups, he's not quite there yet. This is choices and very difficult choices. And then we get the Hierophant, or the Papal card, the Pope, the Hierophant, a higher source. And then we get the Queen of Rods, women, planning, families, the Death, kind of minor card, Death card. I think if Putin were to ratchet up those attacks and take more ground, he would have to do that deal. The question is when, and who, what do both bring to the table? Zelensky would be wanting a it's all in the timing. So, is this deal going to happen before the end of 2025? I know. It's a long way away. Three of Cups. 10 of Cups. And the Six of Rods. There we have victory. Yes, it will happen. There will be some sort of deal, I think. When I say before 2025, how soon? Could even be toward the end of this year. I just said before 2025. I think ultimately this is what is going to occur. But you've seen my other readings on Ukraine. You understand that they then become a part of the EU. They then become a provisional member of NATO. So no more territory will be given away to Putin. If you look at my Vladimir Putin reading, you will also understand that his days are also numbered. Alright, so remember, he wants an end to the war as much as everybody else does, because he is being dragged down by dissidents rising up who do not support this war. Okay, let's go to the Manhattan trial of the ex-president. It's interesting. I think by the time Ukraine does a deal, they will have pushed Russia back in some way. And I know that doesn't look possible right now, but I think they do have a push forward. They're short of ammunition, they're short of manpower, but I still think that they can push Putin's troops further back. But ultimately there has to be a deal done. Okay, let's look at the ex-president. He's doing all sorts of things to delay his trial. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look. Alright, so where is he at with Manhattan? Where is he at with Manhattan? Oh, God, what an awful image. So he's like speared. He's been speared. He is very, I don't care what anybody says. He is very, very much wounded candidate. The spear is driven right through here. Okay, so show me Manhattan. What sort of case does the DA have? Is he capable of winning? Is the Manhattan DA capable of winning? So I'm seeing the judge now. Will the Manhattan DA win this trial? Will the Manhattan... I'm seeing a king. Authority, the rule of law. That's what will prevail. Okay, so not the unlawful. Let's have a look. Will the Manhattan trial start on March, by the end of March? Will the Manhattan... It's due to start around March 25th, right on the... or 26th, right on the eclipse. Will the first eclipse. Alright, so will the Manhattan trial start on by the end of March? So we get the Seven of Pentacles. Plan A doesn't work. Let's try Plan B. And we get the Page of Wands. We get the Nine of Pentacles as the foundation of the reading. The the Fool card. New starts. Yeah, there we have it. Yeah, the court does sit by the end of March. And we get speedy trial sort of thing. So I don't see any real delays in this one at all. Clarifying that is the Chariot. Yeah, these cards are telling me that it will start in its time, in the timeline that it has been set. That has been set for that trial. This Judge Maryann, not going to take any nonsense. He is in control. Okay, so. Alright, so let's take a look. Does this trial... Okay, first of all, does the Manhattan DA win this? Does the Manhattan DA win this? Does the Manhattan DA win this? So we get secrets. I've long said he's got something. DA Bragg's got something here that nobody knows about. There we go. He's in control. He has something that we don't yet. We haven't seen this evidence yet. So we get abuse of power. We get some kind of monetary crime here. And then we get the Five of Pentacles. Okay. And then we get the Sun. Okay, so it's actually going to go well for Bragg. Tower card and juggling, decisions, financial crimes. We get hopes and fears, complete and utter downfall, and illusion and delusion at the end of this. Skill, and we get the win here. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty, I'm not going to say seedy, we're going to hear some seedy evidence, but it's almost like the skill of the prosecutor dispels any of that Neptunian influence. We get wounded and hope and the King of Pentacles, my card for Trump, and the truth emerging. Alright, so the next question I was going to ask is, does this do Trump damage? Does this do the ex-president damage? That's what I think I'm seeing here. I'm seeing he's trying to muddy the waters. Restriction. The Empress card. Well, that could be Russia, but yeah, it's women. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. The World card, endings, beginnings, moving out of troubled waters, the Ace of Cups, romance, not romance, but his affair. This is what the Knight of Cups is about as well. That's the part that's going to do him damage when we hear the details of the Stormy Daniels affair and how he tried to cover that up. I don't think that his Christian nationalist people care so much about his financial crimes. Why would they? Some of them are doing it themselves, but it's much harder to absolve this kind of behaviour when his wife had just had a new baby, and so he's off having affairs. There was a reason why he wanted it covered up. All right, so will there be a conviction? Just let's check on that. Ooh, the Death card. Will there be a conviction? Endings and new beginnings. It is a significant case, this one. The Sun card, very, very bright cards. Justice will be done. That's in the past. We get lying and deceit. So it's going to be very clear the lies that were told. And again, that's going to... the lying about the affair. He can't lie about the affair. And then we get things really speeding up. Okay, so we get the... I don't know if all counts will be successful, but here we get the card that we're most associating with the environment around the ex-president at the moment. The Five of Cups, loss. We get 3 cups lost and 1 cup remaining. And then we get the Chariot, yeah. So I see the Nine of Cups. That's having everything you need. It's money. It's actually the business fraud there. And we get the Judge being extremely strong here. And we get the Queen of Cups, the woman. This trial's not going to play out like the others have. It's actually going to be done reasonably quickly. It will bring up evidence we haven't heard yet. The DA and his prosecutors are extremely on the case, very, very skilled. There's going to be a lot of delusion introduced into this, but the judge is going to be strong and not succumb to that. So that's what I see in those readings. All right, the last questions that I want to ask is, I just want to be clear around this. Let's shuffle. Actually, let's change the deck. Some of you have asked, why do I change the deck? It's just a feeling. The cards hold the energies, and sometimes when you're reading on subjects, the energies are pretty heavy in the deck. And so when you're moving to a new subject, or when you've had sort of like a heavy reading, all the readings on the ex-president are heavy, and Putin, well, that devil card's there for a reason. Sometimes it just freshens up the energy. So the first deck I used was the Golden Universal Tarot, and now I'm moving to the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Both are fairly visually pretty decks. All right, let's take a look. I'm just preparing the deck. Princess Catherine. I mean, it's sad. The whole situation's sad. All right, Princess Catherine, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm still getting these heavy images, a heaviness. So whatever she's going through is quite... We've all had these times in our lives, haven't we? So why on earth would they release a doctor photo and then make her take the blame? All right. Did the actual courtiers And I feel the courtiers are every bit as bad as some of the worst we see in politics. And it is a form of politics, the palace. Okay, so did the courtiers release that photo? Did the courtiers or advisors release that photo? Seven of Pentacles. Wow, they were desperate. They were desperate. And then we get the Wounded Warrior. Okay, so it really is an energy in the palace at the moment of not being able to, like, there's been some grievous, is that the word? Grave situations there, and they don't really know what to do. And so they're clutching, almost like clutching at straws. We get the Nine of Pentacles wanting to present her in this light that we see, this public light that we always see her in, having everything to be admired, that she has this beauty. That's the image they want to keep going. But that's not the image that's not the reality of where she's at right now. The past, lying and deceit. And this is what annoys me around this situation. Just be transparent. Remember that there are many people. I'm not one. I don't generally follow the royal family, except that this time it sparked my, I don't know. I just don't think they're being transparent. And these cards are saying they're not. They're not being honest. Let's use the word. In the sky is the past. And again, this is a huge shake-up for the UK royal family. They're moving or trying to transition from the past, from an era that is just no longer there. And when these situations are sent, I know a lot about them, health issues, cancer. When these are sent, it's like things will be smooth and stable, and then, bam, the rug comes from underneath the feet. But the past is crowning this reading. The past. We have temperance and healing. Temperance and healing from this. There will be a way forward. We have the Moon card. In the here and now, volatility, emotions. There's so much conspiracy around Princess Catherine. But I asked, did the courtiers do this? Okay, the volatility of the relationship, I talked about that in a previous reading. It can't be denied. It's there, the relationship between the prince and the princess. We have the Lovers in the hopes and fears. The Lovers. Hopes and fears. Wow. There's it's like at this stage they're not even sure that there will be this comeback. And then we get the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I asked, did the courtiers do it? Yes, they did. That's the outcome card. This is the Apprentice card. Could have even been a younger decision maker. Clarified by the Five of Pentacles. They did it to try and smooth everything over. They did it to try and stop the conspiracies. But the conspiracies are there because of what has gone on in the past, and that's a lie. Okay, Magician is manipulation. Absolutely, they manipulated it. Okay, so we have loss, walking away. We have something really being a burden here, like just about to drop that. We have the Knight of Cups, an offer, and then we have a decision that was made. Yes, they did, and that is where Catherine's energy is at the moment. They did her no favours in doing that. It was amateurish, it was stupid, and it highlights that we aren't getting that there's been lies in the past. Okay, so so it wasn't Kate that digitally manipulated that. Some of you are going to go, no. But those courtiers are struggling. They're struggling. They do not know what to do. Okay, so let's be positive. Will Kate return to royal duties? Will Kate and William mend their whatever is going on? Will Kate's health return? Can Kate come back from this? Will Kate be okay? Will Kate be okay? I certainly think she wasn't okay with the lies. All right, so will Kate be okay? Will Kate be okay? The World card, endings and beginnings. The Star card, there's hope. Defending herself. What the image that I got, you know, the statues of princesses. Well, hers had kind of turned into a very dark colour, almost like she was stepping back and away. New starts. The King, the Hierophant, the King. Almost like a decree, a royal decree. And here we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, her getting her motivation back. Here and now, she's juggling. The environment around is trying to keep these secrets. Okay, so much that we do not know. She wants a new start. That's her hope. She wants a new start. And that's what she gets. She gets a new start. Absolutely. Absolutely. There she is. Abundance. Yeah, she does. She wants a new start. Does she want out? Maybe. The ship coming in. High anxiety. A truth emerging. The Chariot. Well, she's going to be okay ultimately, but there's a brand new start for her. And it is one of abundance. Okay, so will she come back to royalty, the Ten of Wands? Will Kate return to her role as the Princess of Wales? William's partner, the future Queen. Will Kate return to that role? That's what. So we get the Nine of Swords. I think there's going to be some sort of announcement soon. Okay, will she return to her previous role of future Queen? Will Kate, Princess Catherine, return to her role of future Queen? Something coming to fruition in time. We get sabotage, abuse of power, and we get the Knight of Pentacles, consistency, isolation, and the King of Swords, planning and strategizing, manipulation. She won't trust. There's a loss of trust here. The Knight of Wands moving forward quickly, and then we get the Emperor, control, the King. Something being let out of the bag, being locked out, strength, restriction of that strength, the Queen of Wands, and support, so, and healing, and justice. Okay, I don't know. I can't say for sure. She wants a brand new start. She's not at all happy with, I don't know. There's so much going on there. The Ace, 2 aces as the outcome card. Money, emotion. I don't know. She's almost like cutting her own deals. I don't know. There's that kind of feel to the reading. That if she does come back, she wants things changed. anything could happen, but we're going to get an announcement on that soon. All right, that's it for now. I'll catch you later. Bye.